Hi, I'm Bran, and I love The Way Home.
I'm Ryan, and I like The Way Home.
I'm Dan, and I despise The Way Home, and this is the
Deck the Hallmark
podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast.
We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Well, hi there, everybody.
Boy.
Welcome back to Deck the Hallmark. Talking about The Way Home.
The Way Home.
Only
That's
a few
exactly
more
right.
episodes left, boys. Can you believe it? Only a few more.
It's going to end just in time for us to start riding.
That's
You know what I
exactly
mean?
right. That's exactly right.
Man.
And you got a second season of The Way Home. Confirmed.
Confirmed season 2. Did you know?
Let's go. I
Did
was
you know?
unaware. I was unaware.
Yes.
Bran broke the news for me just now.
Wow.
Yeah. Season 2 is happening.
Season 2 is happening, and Ryan's sticking around for Ride. So
Ride with Ryan.
ride with Ryan.
That's
it's
right.
It's gonna be a great time. I mean, I don't know if the show's gonna be a great time, but I know that we're
I think
gonna have a
we're
great
gonna
time.
have a great
We
time.
always have a great time.
And that's
High
all.
bar. But we're going to have fun.
We are gonna have fun. Ryan, give us 2 truths and a lie
Oh, dear.
about kind of like what's going on with you.
I have a new microphone. I'm in the middle of an eBay war for a very rare VHS. And I have a knee that needs to get looked at.
Oh,
I am hoping for everyone's sake, including your knee, that it's the VHS one that's
that it's a lie. No, dude, your knees are perfect.
Healthy knees. Healthy
Yeah.
knees.
Wow,
Healthy knees.
what's the VHS? What's the
Well, it's actually a nice little tie-in because, and I'm going to talk about this extensively later, not this specifically, but Elliot mocked the Power Rangers in week 2 of the show, and
no.
I'm going after a very rare Power Rangers VHS right now, and I may have just talked myself out of it. We might find out during the course of this episode.
Is it rare? Is it rare because no one cares?
Dan, all right. Well, how about we start the recap here,
So
Brandon?
do we? I don't want. Listen, you can just go. Give me one of these ones. Over $100.
So I'll just be fully transparent. I doubt this. I mean, if this guy's listening, hopefully the sale would have already happened. He was unjustly selling it for $275.
Good God.
No, but Dan, you're going to appreciate this. I've got him down to $50.
Yeah,
But
you
then,
do.
Mere moments before recording, he said, "How about 50?" I said, "How about 45?" I've yet to hear back from him. So I could have talked myself out of it.
Well,
So
wait.
you got it down from 279 to 50, and you're like, no deal.
How did you get
45?
him down to 50?
It's not. I mean, it's not worth $275.
I guarantee it's not worth 50.
But how'd you get him to fit? How'd you get him to 50?
Do you even have a VCR?
I have 2 VCRs. But
What?
so-
Why?
Yeah, because one in my room and one in the living room. But basically, Bran,
In
there's
case you want
one.
to watch your VHS tapes in your
Yeah.
bedroom or your living room. Duh.
We don't want to lug it back and forth. That's just.
No, it's a very heavy. It's one of the VCR DVD combos. Those things weigh
Oh,
like
yeah.
15 pounds.
Yeah.
But there's one mint on eBay for $150. His is loose and beat up, and he was selling it for $100 more. I'm like, dude, this doesn't compute. So we'll see what happens.
So you
here.
gave him the rundown. You said, "Hey, I've been doing my research. You're asking way too much for this."
I was very blunt. I was like, listen, man, my knees are good and I'm running towards $50, And so,
So you finally came down to 50, and you said, "How about 45?"
well, because the thing is,
Wow.
50 plus shipping and tax, it was going to be near $60. And the caveat here is that I still might buy the mint version, but that's a different story for another time. So-
Ryan.
It doesn't sound like it's a different story for another day. Why do you need 2 copies? One for the living room, one for the bedroom?
No, I might want to get into graded VHSs.
What does that mean?
They're grading VHSs these days. You put it in like Beckett is grading VHSs. You put it in a case and you can sell it for even bigger bucks down the line. Probably not to Dan or any of his relatives because they don't seem interested. But
Time out. Beckett, like what I used for baseball and basketball cards growing up, is grading the quality of VHS tapes.
Yes.
God, can we just end the thing? Can we end the world right now?
Well, that's the name of this episode.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
Yeah.
What in the world?
Yeah. And so I don't know if I would ever sell it, but I like the idea of it being a display piece. We'll see. If I get this, I was just saying to my girlfriend, maybe I hop off of it.
So she's still with you, huh?
Oh, she bought me. She was offering to buy halvesies.
Oh, put a ring on it, buddy.
What
Put a
a
ring on
what
it.
a woman.
Lock it down.
Lock it down, pal. This is a lot to take in. I am much more on your side than Dan's side. I could
$150 for a VHS Power Rangers.
I could see
You're on Ryan's
myself.
side.
$50 at the moment.
I could see myself, but potentially all in all done, $200 for 2.
And then you got to get graded for like $75 more.
Okay.
It costs money to get graded. You still in?
But so
You're
okay,
still in.
hold on.
The guy that was upset that you picked 3 at Chili's
You're gonna bring
might
that
not
into
be a
this.
big burger.
It was a big burger, first of all. Very full. Would recommend going back again.
You picked 3, $10.95. But is that burger big? I don't know. I don't want to lose money on this. 2 VHS tapes that aren't good for anything.
All I'm saying is
That's
I
not
could
true.
see getting into collecting VHSs.
I got a bunch at my parents' house, and that I could. Yeah,
What makes it what makes it rare?
So
What
this
makes a
is-
rare DVD? Or I
Well,
mean,
no,
I'm sorry, VHS.
This specific Power Rangers VHS wasn't widely circulated. There's only so many. It's like truly.
How do we
it's-
know that though?
I mean, at this point, you just have to take my word for it. I've talked about this for 5. Like I don't like we got to get to the episode eventually. But I'm telling you, it's rare. Like so it's. But again, I may have just talked myself out of the $50 one, and then at that point, it's full steam ahead.
It's full steam ahead for normalcy. Listen, I don't think ever opened the Star like original Star Wars.
Oh, that's
VHS.
worth a lot of money, Dan.
Is it really?
If it's the non-remat, like
It's not the remastered one.
Oh,
It's
I mean, if that's in plastic, I mean, you don't even have to get it graded. You can get a couple $100 for that easy.
It's ridiculous.
Guys, are we going into the business together?
Are we doing this?
Are we getting weird?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we're getting weird.
man.
Okay, well, we did that.
Tape deck the whole.
VHS, ASL, it's all the same.
All one big.
Listen,
box.
all I'm saying is if somebody can find me the Claymation Christmas special on VHS, like I had it when I was a kid.
What do you mean, like the
Like Rudolph?
No.
the
No.
Claymation Christmas special?
There
You
was
gotta
a
narrow it
there
down.
there was a it was called Claymation Christmas,
Oh wow.
and it
Big
was a 30-minute special with lots of songs, and it was awesome. The Way Home, The End of the World as We Know It, originally aired on the Hallmark on March 5th, 2023, and it went a little something like this. So Alice is running away from Kat because, as you remember last week, Alice found out that her mom has also been time traveling her and not been telling her. Has
There's
she
also
been telling
time traveling?
time traveling, but has not told her? Has she? Did she tell her mom that she time traveled? No. That's neither here nor there. She tries to talk to her, but Alice jumps into the pond to avoid a conversation with her parents. And I think we can all relate, right, boys? Yep.
Oh yeah.
Alice tries to comfort 1999 Cat
Hi, I'm Travlinger. Nice to meet you.
to 1999 Cat, but she isn't
It's
interested.
like with Ryan in this VHS. I'm trying to confront him, and you're trying to comfort him.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. It's amazing how those words, close in spelling, totally different.
Totally different.
To make matters worse, Kat gets fired from her newspaper job because the piece on the Lobster Social was underwhelming. She
No
ends up
follow up on any of the couples that were made that day.
no, dude, that was wild. Hey, you're having fun?
Oh, another one, huh?
Give me
Oh, this is good.
she ends up.
Checkmate. They were playing chess. I don't know.
Wow,
There was a
Yeah.
games portion?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be a social. She ends up going down to the basement and is looking through her dad's stuff and finds a piece of paper in one of his pockets with the letters MS, a phone number, and an address.
So now she knows about his MS.
he does. Yes. When she asks Dell about it, Dell's like weird. She's like, I don't know about this. I don't know about any of this. Why do you think I know about this? And she's like, it is your husband. And she's like, I don't know everything he did. So she does. She definitely does. Elliot agrees to go with her to the address on the paper, which really is just an excuse for some Sister Hazel. And I think we're all better for it. They do find out it's an old motel, but nothing to it but to lose it. Alice is talking to her mom, and she realizes that she wants to go back to 1999 to help 1999 Cat with the loss of Jacob, to let her know that it's not her fault. She gets back there, and it's months later than when Jacob went missing. It's New Year's Eve party. We're heading into Y2K, y'all. Dell is getting Adele and is having an art show to show off her pottery that we all know that she did. Alice catches up with Nick, and he gives her a bracelet. They count down to midnight, and they're down in the basement, so they shut off the lights of the house to freak everybody out because Y2K. But Kat is upstairs having a literal panic attack in the process. Alice goes up, comforts her, and she says she wishes that the world would have ended at midnight so she can stop hurting. So very serious stuff going on. Back in 2023, Alice tells Elliot that she feels something between them, and Elliot is like, I've wanted to kiss you forever, and when I finally do, it's going to be perfect. And then walks away. What a boss move. Alice gets 1999 Cat back home, and she has a conversation with Cat's dad, and he thanks her for being her friend. Cat talks to her mom, and she says that her mom spent all of the money. That her dad spent all of the money and never saw it.
What's
implying that she's implying that he spent it on a woman of the night. So she decides she's going to go back in time to go to the address on the paper and see what's going on. So she jumps on into the water, and it fades to black. And that, my friends, was The Way Home, Season 1, Episode 7, The End of the World as We Know It. Nailed it.
We did it.
We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to get an update on Ryan's betting and see if we've got good news here on Deck the Hallmark. Welcome back. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Deck the Hallmark. We're talking about The Way Home. Ryan, are you an owner?
Nothing yet, and I can't find Claymation Christmas Special on eBay either.
So just nothing but downers right now.
Yeah,
for you in the VHS world.
I didn't mean to bring the mood
I
down.
found it on DVD.
You found it on DVD?
Yeah.
Wow.
You wanted it on
I want it on VHS. Now, I will
Preferably
say,
clamshell. Yeah.
I will say, I do think one of the things that
Big
happened
boxes, got to just rip them right open.
is I had I believe it was recorded on VHS from
So
when
you had
it
original
premiered on
commercials
TV.
probably too.
Original
Yeah.
commercials.
Yeah.
Is that better?
I mean, for me, that's just more fun. Like I have a
Yeah.
Chipmunks Christmas from '89 with the original commercials. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a great
I have-
special. It's a
I
great
can burn it on
special.
DVD for you if you want. Yeah.
I don't. Because then I have to get a DVD player. Not all of us are rich enough to have a VHS DVD combo
I mean,
in
right.
both
Two
places.
of them.
Two times
Two
over.
of them.
2 times over.
Man.
Yeah.
That's
It's
another
amazing.
class there.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's just a different tax bracket.
That is. I can't even imagine what it would be like
let's,
to own 2 VHS.
Let's talk about this one. Let's start with the hot take, and I will go to my friend Ryan. Ryan, after last week's blockbuster of an episode, how could they possibly follow up? Let's find out what you thought about it.
Blockbuster, home of many VHSs. Yeah. I thought it was smart to try to not follow up last week's, what I think we'd all agree, high octane episode was something that tried to top it. I think it was good to try to bring it back to a palate cleanse and make everything a little more grounded as a show about time travel can be. With that said, I thought the mystery elements with the house and the initials and all that was good. It sets us up for the future. I thought that we had a lot more to do for Andy McDowell, and I thought she really shined. I really liked the scenes where she's just being Alice's grandma. We haven't gotten a ton of that,
Yeah.
and I enjoyed that. So I thought that there was still elements that really worked in terms of building towards the overarching mystery and story. But at the same time, we like these characters at this point. We're 7 episodes in. Let's just spend time with them. Ultimately, I'm at the point where I expect this show to be good. And other than I thought the final few minutes, falling a little flat, just a little, the episode was good. And that's what I expect. So thumbs up for me.
I agree with you. I did think that this was a necessary episode following last week, but it's also tough because we are now down to 3 episodes left in the season and we still have hella questions. And it's like they're either going to have to, I know we have a season 2 coming up, which implies that we might not get all the answers. We might not get all the answers.
Yeah.
And that's tough. That's tough. We've got a lot of questions still out there. We had another a steamy session with Nick back in 99. Still don't know what's going on with him. We've got this new element with this address on the paper. We've got so much. Where is Jay? So many things that we're still trying to figure out. Only 3 episodes left to do it. So while I think that this episode was necessary, it was also I maybe would have liked it to, instead of having to get all that in 3. What if we just give us a little stuff? But we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We've got 3 episodes and we've got a lot to cover. I'm very excited about the next 3 weeks. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I typically don't care about IMDb user ratings, but the exception is a TV show that is new, because you can tell kind of the overarching opinion of an episode based upon the IMDb user ratings. Last week's episode was the highest rated episode of the season. This week's episode was the lowest rated by a long shot. And I'm here to tell you that I disagree with that. Not only do I think that this episode had some really good character building, it also made me appreciate that last week's episode really didn't do anything for the plot of the program. Last week's episode is amazing. It's my favorite one because it's so incredibly just breathtaking. It's intense, but where are we at the beginning of that episode? Where are we at the end?
Jacob's still missing.
True. We know that we can't change things from the past. That nothing in that episode changed or answered any questions.
It gave us more questions.
Exactly.
Because he made it home. We know that he made it home.
The sign of a great television program is one that can give you an episode that takes your breath away, that doesn't answer any questions. And that one did it. This is a really solid episode of television for a number of reasons. Sets up a weird, futuristic, past tense love triangle thing. It gives more Andy McDowell scenes. You start to wonder more if this hotel MS thing is a red herring or if it's going to lead to something. You feel like next episode is going to be a big one. I thought they really did a good job building the tension in this episode. You knew it had to be filler. You knew it wasn't going to be as breakneck as last week. And I thought they did a really good job, especially with Kat and Elliot. When Elliot looks at Kat and is like, and when I kiss you the first time, it's going to be memorable, and then walks away, pure gold there. So a lot to really like, and that's the showcase of a good TV show is what that is when an episode after the big episode lands all the notes it's supposed to land, it works. So yeah, was it as entertaining or as memorable as last week's? No. Is it still probably top 4 for me of the 7? Yes, absolutely. Big fan. Thumbs up for me.
Let's do feels. Ryan, any feels for you?
Yeah, the big one for me was because I thought it was a very earned moment in the trajectory of the show when Alice and Kat in present day finally talk about the fact that they've both been time traveling. I do think that's kind of the pillar of the episode. For one, it's just really cool. And at this point, we've had 2 separate timelines where they are in one best friends and the other kind of been clashing the whole way through. It converges those 2 things. But what I really liked about it, it's a feels because it got me excited for the final 3 of this first order, is that ultimately, when Alice says, and it's really kind of an epic, cool moment, at least within the framework of how epic and cool this show can be, which I think is pretty cool, quite frankly. But when Alice says, I'm going to go back because you need a friend, and you're going through a tough time, that's just really cool. It's got a level of grandeur to it. But also what I like about it, I think it's really smart. We've already established that because of trauma or time travel, messing with brains, whatever, Kat doesn't remember much of her relationship with Alice from 99. So you can kind of do whatever you want with that. They're not changing the timeline. Alice is just like, you need a friend. You don't even necessarily remember these things, but I'm going to be there for you, which I think makes it really cool. And the show can play with that a lot. I love that scene.
Yeah.
So the Elliot, finding out that Kat likes him, is having a thing, and Listen, we all know that in real life, my guy's not turning out an opportunity to kiss a girl that he's had a crush on for his entire life.
25 years on.
But they did it. They did it in this show.
It was a move.
And it was a great scene. It was a great scene. It's also something that somebody who might have killed somebody might do.
Yes.
More on that later.
Yeah.
Could he? Maybe. I don't know.
Not have any real feelings.
Could he? Maybe. I don't know. Dan?
Yeah, so mine, I think it's similar to the scene you're talking about, Ryan, but what I do love about the show is, and what I told these guys after watching is, if I knew that going back in time wouldn't change the future, and I believe that 100%, when I went back in time, I wouldn't go back in time to change anything. I would go back in time to be two places at once, or to do the things that I missed out on getting to do because I had to do other things. What's beautiful about this episode,
you would buy the Power Rangers VHS.
Oh, for a reasonable price. Oh,
right.
man.
And I couldn't sell it now because I can't change the future, Ryan. I would buy it just for you and sell it to you with no markup.
That's
but
really sweet of you.
I can't because I can't change the future. That's unfortunately that's how it works in the show.
So even if I bought it and I put it in a box, so it just wouldn't be there?
It wouldn't be there.
Man.
Yeah.
Man.
I wish you hadn't
tough.
said that, Brand. Now I'm really not going to be able to stop thinking about that.
Yeah.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, it is what it is. So here's the thing. What's beautiful about this episode is that Kat feels as though no one lets her grieve and doesn't have a friend, like doesn't get it. And that Alice, in present day, Alex looks at her and goes, hey, we were best friends once. That scene, and then they both start crying and they hug, is beautiful. And for Alice to go back and be the person that Kat needs at the time, it also allows present day Kat to understand a little bit more what her daughter, like who her daughter is and what she's going through. And I think that is the kind of stuff that is the fabric of this tapestry. Like, the big mysteries are what we're here for, but without that other stuff where we care about the characters, it just doesn't work. So kudos to those two. I thought it was a really good job.
And also just Y2K memory feels. The fact that there was a moment in history at the turn of the calendar, it was going to be,
there was a chance.
Listen, even the sanest of people was like, I don't know, maybe.
Have we talked about this on this show before? We have, right?
What? Y2K?
Yeah. Like,
I don't think so.
I remember thinking at some point early in the day, wait a minute, Australia would hit Australia first. So we're going to know it long before midnight. Like, we don't have to wait for midnight on the East Coast.
But the banking system in New York is the
But if nothing happened in Australia,
nothing ever happens in Australia. Well, I'm just saying.
Sorry out there, everyone listening in
Love Australia. I'm just saying they don't have any power over the global banking.
But they still have banks in Australia.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
It's a hot spot for cinema. They got a lot going on there.
Yes,
cinema might be affected.
Yeah, but even England, London, that's a hot spot.
We're talking about London.
That would
now.
be 5 or 6 hours before
Fish and
us.
chips.
So no one would be shocked at midnight.
But again, America.
The world doesn't end until we reach East Coast time.
You're exactly right. The best coast.
East Coast, best coast.
That's exactly right.
East Coast be East Coast. Nope. East Coast.
Well, it'd be West Coast. Well, that doesn't matter.
Yeah. No. Not important.
How about right coast?
Right coast.
Right coast. Right coast. We're going to be right back. We're going to talk about the Wait What's here on Tech the Hallmark. Ryan, are you? Did you get it yet?
No, I'm actually getting pretty nervous at this $5 pack.
That you tried to shank him for $5 more. You literally. I'm not trying to be that guy. You got an 80% discount, over 80%, and you're like $5 more where I'm walking.
Well,
man,
it's also gonna be doubly crushing because there was a lot of VHSs that this was in last week that I didn't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't
like what else was available on the lot?
No, it was a big Power Ranger VHS lot, which I could have flipped a lot of those. And I just tried to go way too low. I'm usually better than this, is the thing. And
oh man,
it's demoralizing.
Send you $5 and you just don't.
Are you a regular eBay flipper?
No, I might get. I've been going through my storage unit the last couple of weeks, and I'm thinking it might be time to start selling some of this stuff because goes
That's why
beyond
you're buying
VHS.
more. You got Keynesian economics. You got to spend money to make money. You understand?
Yeah.
I'll Venmo you 5. Go for 50. Do it. Come on.
Well, I told him deal at 50. I said 45, and he was like, "Bro, I'm coming down more than 200." I was like, you know what? That's fair. 50. It is.
You did. So you went back up to 50. Okay, I feel
the
better.
And he
problem
just hasn't
is
responded.
No, he hasn't responded. And the problem is he has to change his settings on eBay for me to send an offer for it. It automatically declines any offer lower than what he wanted. And right now it's like, but yada yada yada. It's not a done deal. It's not a done deal.
Not a done deal.
Hey, can
Yeah.
you find it and buy it? Buy
Yeah,
it
I
for
can do my
two.
best
Buy
here.
it, buy it for
Don't
two.
worry.
$200 Power Rangers.
I definitely have the eBay app.
You know what?
VHS tapes.
We should start
Just give me
putting.
1 second.
We should
I'm
put the
wait,
DTH.
wait. I'm searching VHS tapes in my eBay app. Give me a second.
We should put the DTH library on VHS and put it on eBay and just see what happens.
See what happens. Seems like a lot of money to spend on the front end, but you know, who am I?
It's a bit though.
Who am I?
When has spending money ever stopped us from doing a bit?
That's true. Never. We spent $500 on a Fitzy's neon sign. Where is it now? Nowhere.
It's right over there. Thank
Right
you
over
very
there.
much. Guys, let's do this. Let's talk about the Wait What's in this episode of television. A lot. I don't know. Ryan?
There's a good amount. So the lobster social being underwhelming. It had to be on all of our lists. You already addressed it. I'll just let it lay there. However, in that same scene, the part that really got me is fellow is like, I was already stretching the budget, bringing you on. This newspaper has one employee other than Kat. One.
That's right.
It's like, I mean, how does this paper make any money if this guy is managing the paper and the archives by himself and was stretching the budget to bring on what seems, by their own admission, a part-time journalist? Emphasis on the journalist. That part didn't track for me, not whatsoever. Zero. Andy McDowell answers no immediately when asked if she knows anyone with the initials MS. Now, listen, that may be true. But it's also in the context of the scene, she does not know what even Kat is going to ask yet. And she's like, no. But then even if it's a cover up for a lie, it is highly improbable that she does not know anyone with those initials, even if it's just someone in passing. There's 50 kids that work on her lawn every day. She likely knows somebody named Mike Smith. You know, so if it is a lie and it's part of a overarching plan,
even if she didn't know anyone with the initials MS, she would think about it.
You gotta say, let me think about it.
She'd be like, "Oh, let's see here." Like she would
Because
go
you
through.
say, and my first thought is, I don't think so.
But I
But to
gotta
your
think of
point,
it.
probably.
Yeah.
Let me think about it.
there's Mitchell Carter and Monica. Oh, you know, so it just like, you know, if this is a white witch type of thing or whatever, a time travel cover up, not Dell's best work in terms of you know, being the keeper of the gates. Lastly, though, lovely moment for, you know, craftsmanship with the Dell appreciation night. But Monica goes to her. She goes, "How about this turnout?" And there's approximately 15 people there, 3 of which are their relatives.
It's the lobster social, but
yeah.
you know, what are you gonna
the
do?
lobster social had about 100 people scattered out through this thing, maybe 12 people tops. Yeah. So
and 1,500 lobsters, all trying to find love.
We got to get to Dale's appreciation night. That's it for me.
The lobster social reminded me of something, which is whatever happened to the doctor.
Yeah.
The doctor that she had a full-blown kissy. Yes, I'm sorry, the vet. Veterinarian.
Come on now.
Don't want to.
We're sorry.
Thank
to
you for
real
your
doctors and the
service.
troops.
She kissed him hard, right? That at the lobster social, all the lobsters were talking about it, and then he doesn't show up. Doesn't show up for the birth of the cow.
No.
What's up with this guy? And then hasn't been seen since.
See you, sucker.
Is he in the pond? What's up with this guy?
He's stuck in purgatory.
It's weird that he just hasn't been around, right? And they want us to forget about him. Like, what was the point of that? What's going on with that?
There's gotta be something.
It didn't even have to remind us. I would have forgotten until they brought the lobster social, and that article was like, underwhelming.
Oh, yeah.
Underwhelming. My biggest one is one that I just forgot. So I'm going to go to Dan and then come back to him.
Great. Bran had this exact same wait what last week. And I was like, Brand's just not getting it. And now I'm completely with him. Why is Elliot at the house every morning? This morning, he has to teach, they established, he's drinking a cup of coffee with a shirt that could easily be a bathrobe. He's there. I don't know what is happening where this guy, to start his day, travels up the mountain to the farm every single morning. It's nefarious. It's not above board. I have questions. He's there. It's like, what about Bob at Lake Winnipesaukee? You open the door, he's there. You think he's gone? He's never gone. He's right there every time. I'm starting to worry.
I think he was wearing a robe this week.
He was wearing a robe, it looked like.
A little too comfortable.
Yeah, I don't know. And then also, this CD that they play on their road trip out to the abandoned hotel, is it Sister Hazel on repeat? Because we get in the car and they start singing All For You, which is a banger.
We had fun.
And they pull up to the hotel before that song is over. So my question, we hear a solid minute in the car. So either this is a 3.5 to 4 minute drive and they could have walked it or not made a big deal about the road trip, or the song is on a loop.
Yeah.
They burn the CD and it's just that
song
over and over again.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong, because I was only 9. Not the easiest thing to burn a CD in 99, right? I feel like,
99 burning a CD would take some doing.
Yeah,
Yes.
Napster's barely, by 02, 03, it was commonplace.
Yeah,
But 99 seems like a lot of work.
I didn't have any burned CDs in 1999, none. But in 2002-03, I had a boatload.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, couldn't do it. That's tough.
I remember. So speaking of people we don't trust, we've talked about how we're skeptical of Elliot. But we're also very skeptical of the newspaper guy.
Yes.
Yes. Something's weird about him.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what caught my eye this week is, one, we found out, and I don't know, maybe I just missed it, that the newspaper office is at the top story of a building.
The archives
that I didn't know
are in the top. Yes.
So she gets up there and he walks out of a room. I don't know what he's doing there, with a cane. And she's like, well, what happened? And he says, oh, I was in there and the shelf fell on me. Well, here's my thing. Why did he have a cane up there to begin with?
No way.
If the thing fell down on him, it's not like he can go down to get a cane. He had a cane. There's everything about this guy I'm skeptical of. What's going on with this guy? Shady doings.
I have more on that in my sink or swim.
All right.
So that's all I'm going to say.
Let's get to it.
That.
Sink or swim time is part of the show. Ryan, what are you singing? What are you swimming?
I got a couple sinks. I'm going to focus on the Elliot Nefarious and noted the When I Kiss You, It's Going to Be Perfect. That sounds very master plan-y. I feel like that's weird. But I had two other sinks. At the beginning of the episode, when Alice jets back to 99 and they're searching for Jacob still, it's in the aftermath, and she's like, I'm going to the house. And 99 Elliot's even like, Alice, it's just family. That seems like he's trying to stop Alice from going to the house, because at this point he knows the dynamics of her with the family better than anybody. So that seems strange to me. And then 23 timeline Elliot telling Kat that the note in the jacket means nothing. Like, that's super villain behavior. You know, it's like, again, this guy knows time travel exists. He's the all keeper of it. That's right. I'll be honest, I was not smart enough last week to think that this was an option. Everybody here in the chat brought it to my attention. But now that I know it, I cannot take my eyes off.
Are people talking about this? Is this a theory out there on Twitter?
I don't know, but we have it, and that's what matters.
I want to know are people talking about this? Are people talking about this? I don't know. Do you have any swims?
No swims this week for me. 0 swims. 3 sink. Another sink might be my eBay score in the couple. But that's neither here nor there.
Fair. I do think that the newspaper is going to sink if the Lobster Social
the archives.
The Lobster Social article was underwhelming, so he has to fire. Guys, this guy's shady freaking doings. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about it. That's all I'm going to say. Swim is, I'm just excited. I'm just downright excited about the next 3 weeks. I don't know what we're going to do, Dan, because I know you're going out of town for spring break.
I'm going to be gone for the ninth.
We've got to figure this out. Got to figure this
We
out.
do. You think they're giving us a screener for the ninth
Might have to
episode?
call in some favors. I might have to call in some favors. But
Yeah.
boy, howdy.
Yeah.
Because it's not, I can't wait on you.
Yeah, I know. That's tough, man.
Can you call in from the beach
For a full episode?
of the way home?
It's the way home, Dan.
It's the way home.
No promises, guys.
It's the way home.
It's the way home.
Oh, man. I'm not going to be, I don't know how I'll access it. Because I'll be in Mexico when the show airs.
It's the way home.
Okay,
way
I
home.
got it. This is fair enough. Are we ready for my sink or swim?
I guess so.
Please.
My sink and swim is the same, and it is our newspaper archives guy. I believe now, I'm going to go ahead and put all my chips in the middle of the table. I believe that he's Jacob. Now,
An insane take.
now
An insane take.
it's an insane take.
Jacob's into his mom
No,
then.
wait a minute. I know it does not bode well for some scenes that we've seen earlier in this television program. And am I probably wrong? Yes, there's some scenes now.
He's
that
bringing
are a
his
little-
mom
No, no, no,
wine
listen,
late at night.
Listen,
Oh dear.
listen. First of all, there are some scenes that feel a little now.
Absolutely.
However, all of those scenes could be construed as someone being with their parent. Here's why. Here's the thing.
I don't know.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you why?
I don't know what you and Donna are up
No,
to.
listen.
Go
How
ahead.
dare you? Listen. How dare you?
Oh, God.
Listen. They're gonna show a montage. They're going to show a montage when they reveal that he's Jacob. And in that montage, they're going to show a picture of him showing the headline of the newspaper that calls Dell the matriarch of the city. He writes it. He writes that she's the matriarch of the city. He writes that in the newspaper. I don't like it. I don't want that to be the case, but I'm telling you, that would make the most sense.
So you think that him writing that headline?
I think that there's enough weird about that dude that is who he is. That's all I've got for you. I wish I had more, but I don't.
This would be new Hallmark.
He went back in time from 1999. He went back, whatever that was. Now he's about that age.
But let's go through that. What do you mean about that age?
Like he's old
Oh,
enough.
I got. I thought
It
you
would
were
be, whatever the math track.
Yeah.
But like, I want to go back and watch this. Has he said anything that is without a doubt something you would say to somebody that you are into and not your mom?
I don't think he's actually said much. That's the thing, is I think they've done a pretty good job as it is of him not saying anything that would make it romantic. I don't think that he has.
He hasn't said hey hottie or something like that.
I don't think he said hey hottie. No.
Dan, what would the motivation be for getting Kat off of he doesn't want to be found? Like, what would be the?
Why would he fire his sister? That maybe because maybe he knows now. He knew when she would. Did she start
Also,
working at the
people
newspaper?
are helping me out in the chat because you know what? Right now, Alice is trying to get with a 40-year-old. So let's not act like the way home.
Yeah, that's different.
No.
No. There is a difference.
That's a conventional ASL situation.
There is a difference between me. There is a difference between meeting somebody when you are 16, knowing that they are 40, and throwing that out the window. It gets being into your mom.
No evidence aside from circumstantial that would suggest that this dude is actually trying to get with his mom.
What I'm saying is if that is true.
But I don't think it's happening.
Okay, if that is true, then I just feel like there have been things that we're not thinking of.
Is I don't know who's on whose team in the chat. It just says Facebook user for everyone, and it makes me so happy. I just think this. I'm not saying that's what I want the twist to be. What I'm saying is that I think that's what the twist is, and I'm a little bit terrified. That's all I'm saying.
It would be a great twist.
I would rather Elliot be the bad guy than that guy be Jacob.
I would like for both of them to be true.
Wow. Go Power Rangers.
Let's do it.
I'm just, man. Oh, what did you find?
The Power Rangers VHS.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
should I just buy it full price?
How much is it?
Wait,
Tell me
what's
credit
the
card.
title on it?
What's the title?
Is it the Power Rangers White Light VHS?
Oh wow, she's good.
Okay. Can you also find
For
the?
$274.99.
Okay, get that and then get
on the cover. It's beat up. It's
okay.
Not
Get
worth
that one and then get the 151 too.
Yeah, company credit card for both.
Get both of them.
There's also a $450 version.
$4.50.
No, 400.
No, we don't want that.
We don't want that
Okay,
one.
okay.
Let Ryan get that one.
Send that my way.
All right, but
He has to
yes,
get out of his base.
yes on the Power Rangers White Light 275.
It's throw it all out there.
No, I can get it for $50. Probably. Don't do this.
Probably.
We're all in.
Well, it's
If
too
you
late.
want to buy the $170 version, by all means. I won't. You don't got to twist my arm. But no, not the 275. Don't do that.
Hey, what is going on?
It's time to wrestle to the ground. Ryan, what do we got today?
Well, typically this would be where I tell you about that Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns are on a big old collision course.
Of course.
To
Razor
WrestleMania.
Ramon is back, huh? Really?
No.
Roman Reigns. Got it.
Yeah, Roman Reigns. Yes. But I actually think that this is a good time to tell you that I've also bought bootleg
Roman
Hallmark
Reigns,
DVDs.
Cody Rhodes, huh?
You did no. Stop
Sorry.
interrupting him. You did what?
I bought a bootleg Hallmark DVD once on Etsy. Just seemed like it was a good time to bring it up.
Why?
What do you mean?
Well, it was the Thanksgiving House, but before you guys were potting,
When
not
did
available
somebody
anywhere.
record it off of their TV?
Yeah. No commercials though. Sweet deal. Sweet deal.
Well, while we are talking about buying bootleg copies of things, I once, before streaming was prevalent, I bought Hey Arnold bootleg on DVD. I bought
Really?
Recess bootleg on DVD.
Like
I
the
once,
series?
huh? Yeah,
Like the series of the
full,
shows?
full
Those are great.
series.
Yeah, those are great calls. I mean, you
Thanks.
couldn't know streaming was coming. You know, those are great.
There's no way that I could have known that.
You just know
And
that it would've
I
never been
also
available. That's right.
at one point in America walked into a gas station, and on the counter were bootleg copies of The Intern. And I said,
with Robert De Niro?
yeah, I
And Anne
said,
Hathaway?
Great
gotta
film.
check this out. They're doing this in America. I said, sure, I'll get that in a different language.
Yeah.
In a different language.
At the time that came out, you could have just ripped it, right?
100%. But this was purely I can't not. This was a gas station in Greenville, South Carolina, had bootleg
What
copies.
gas station in Greenville?
It's in Malden. It's in Malden. Back when I used to live in Malden.
Great.
I
You're not going to
just
shout out the actual gas station.
I don't remember what it
All
was.
right, good talk.
It wasn't QT or Spanx, and that's all that matters. I just couldn't believe it. I saw it and I said, well, I have to. And then it turns out that it was in a different language and you couldn't pick the languages.
Oh. Well, if you guys
Now
ever want
you
to
and-
review the Thanksgiving House, by all means.
You still have it.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, we'll have to get together and watch that copy. Wait a minute, though. I know we've been waiting. Why did you buy it? Did you
Sorry,
really
me?
want to see the Thanksgiving House?
Oh no, they stopped showing it on Hallmark every year. So it's like I would always DVR it and just watch it around Thanksgiving, and it's out of the rotation. Thanksgiving Day Parade with Autumn Reeser, they still show every year. Thanksgiving House is out of the rotation. I had to, it was reasonably priced. It wasn't a Power Rangers eBay situation. It was $15. It was a DVD price,
Yeah.
and it works beautifully.
Reasonably priced for a bootleg DVD of a TV movie.
Dan, it was in English.
Well, I think this is a wonderful opportunity to bring up the unlimited DVR that is on Philo. Philo.tv/DTH. Get an unlimited DVR. You can DVR all the Thanksgiving movies you want to. Completely legal, above board. The way that TV should be. Philo.tv/DTH. You can watch this show and so much more on Philo. Buddy, so great to see you. I can't believe it. Only a few more weeks left.
Man.
Man, what a ride it's been.
Speaking of
right.
ride.
Oh, wow. Until next time, it was first to wish you a
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas. Deck the Hallmarks of Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.